He notes that infrastructures like railway lines and better roads linked to the hub will ease the transportation of cargo from different surrounding countries like Southern Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
For this place to work well, roads in areas that would like the catchment area of this hub must be rehabilitated, and they should be working well, especially the ones going to, say, West Nile into Congo, then the one going to South Sudan, the one going to Kitgum and the extreme Karamoja area. Then the railway line should be operational. So completing this project within Gulu City here is not a guarantee that it will start flying.
As much as we have now good road networks from cities to the districts, but we still have bad road networks connecting actually sub-counties and districts. So it is very important that we have actually smooth flow of goods inside and outside this facility.
His Excellency the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, on 24th October 2022 participated in the groundbreaking of two flagship projects. That's the construction of the Gulu Logistic Hub and the rehabilitation of the Tororo-Gulu Railway, with support from the European Union and the UK's Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, as well as Trademark East Africa, worth 7.7 million euros. That's about 33 billion Uganda shillings. Opio Christopher, the Gulu chairperson LOC5, appealed to the European Union and other development partners that more is still needed for better road networking.
Well, we appreciate what they are doing, the services that is being rendered to our people, but I still appeal to them that this is not yet enough. We still need some more support so that the road networks in the community are well connected, and even having stores in all the sub-counties. Looking at the facilities that are built, that is a village supermarket, it is not yet enough to accommodate all the various crops that are going to be linked to this facility.
Gulu Logistic Hub will help in the consolidation and exportation of goods produced from the value chains in the northern Uganda, and will also facilitate the importation and distribution of goods within the northern Uganda, and when completed, over 100 Ugandans will be employed.
Those people will be transporting their goods. They need the casual laborers, and those ones who will be working maybe like people from URA and other departments. I believe that they will employ very, very many people, at least 100 also.
The works of the logistic hub were scheduled to be completed by the end of 2021, but progress for the government to build a 2-kilometer access road to the hub remains uncertain.
That's for the Gulu Logistics. And of course, at this very hour, we're going to get joined with Jerome Paul Sonko right there as we discuss matters concerning that Somalia and Uganda relations. And of course, yesterday at the media center, there was that anticipation, the launch of those relations. And of course, let me get into with Jerome Paul Sonko. Jerome Paul Sonko, good morning.
For being part of Smart Main's business. Thank you very much, Andrew, for linking me up this particular time. And of course, we are live on ground, and this time around coming to you live from the Kampala Serena Hotel. What we're going to be discussing this time around is we're going to be looking at the Uganda and Somalia summit, of what economic implications does that bring to Uganda, and what economic implications does that mean to the Somalians, and of course the Somali community in Uganda as well. We've got a lot of those in there. And joining me this morning to discuss more about what is what Uganda will benefit from this particular summit is the Deputy ED of the Private Sector Foundation, Dr. Francis Chisirinya. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me this morning.
Okay. Now, if you out there would first of all want to know of how does Uganda benefit from the Uganda Somalia Summit?
Thank you very much. First of all, dear viewers, Somalia is one of the African countries on the east, and it is a country that has suffered from war for some time. And it is a country where Uganda has made a big contribution through the African Union by contributing troops through the AMISOM mission. And as we speak today, Somalia was so unstable, but the UPDF through AMISOM has been able to stabilize the biggest part of Somalia. And from what we are told, like for instance, the entire city is now stable, and the biggest component, the biggest parts of the countries are quite stable. We know from our ambassador in Somalia that if the security and stability route was, it was a road to be covered, like a road of 100 kilometers, they have so far now covered about 70 kilometers, which has now opened up a lot of opportunities for trade and investments. And as we are told today, is that Somalia's construction sector is booming, the trade sector is booming. Therefore, it is time that Ugandans benefit from our investments in security to benefit from the economic side. And that is the reason why we have this economic summit. So this economic summit is going to be held between the 8th and the 9th of August at Speak Resort Munyonyo, and it will be graced by the two excellencies, His Excellency the President of Somalia and our own His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni will be there. We will be talking about we would like to hear from the Somalia side, what is there for us? What is it like to trade in their country? All right? What is the business environment like? The laws, regulations, for instance, if I want to register a business, what does it take? If I want to go and trade there, what kind of licenses and permits do I need, and how long do I take to get these licenses and permits? What about on issues of tax and taxation? How do the taxes look like? So they will be telling us about that. So we'll also be telling them about Uganda. If they want to come and do business in Uganda, what opportunities are there? What is the tax regime like here? What it takes to register a business, and all what they need as Somalia business people to do business in Uganda. We'll have a lot of presentations on investment opportunities and also on tourism opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, Somalia is a country with 17 million people, and that is the people who are in the country today. But because of the long wars and so many challenges, 3 million Somalis are in the diaspora. In Uganda here we have them. They already becoming brothers and sisters in Uganda. We work with them. We are in social events and functions with them. They are our customers in businesses, and we also customers. They are also investors too here. Some we have big investors from Somalia. Sorry about that. Now, the diaspora people, those you see in Uganda, there are certain other groups in America, in Europe, in Kenya, in South Africa, and a number of them are coming here for this trade summit. And in fact, we have been told that there are some of them that are so rich now that they even own planes of their own, and they will be parking at our airport to come and attend the business summit. So it is an opportunity for us as a country, knowing very well that we already produce, in some cases, more than what we can consume. We have surplus. We have surpluses in sugar. If you know the sugar, we just consume about just half of what we produce. If you talk about milk, we have a big surplus there. If you talk about normal food, we have surpluses there. If you talk about iron and steel, we have surpluses there. So the Somalia becomes a very good opportunity for us to trade and invest in as Uganda.
All right. And for the Somali community, I believe they also have some economic side where they're going to benefit ideally. So if you to look at that with the summit, I believe it's a 50-50. But how do the Somalis benefit out of this one?
No, for the Somalis, they are emerging out of war. So whatever they need is actually in short supply. Okay. And you know, if you are coming from war, there are going to be traders that are going to take advantage of you because you don't have most of these things. So Uganda has an option to take to Somalia goods at very favorable prices. Like for instance, you are aware that in terms, like for instance, on the milk, sugar, we are able to provide these products at lower prices. So they can source these products from here and be able to sell to their consumers, their countrymen, these goods at lower prices. The second thing is they are able to create business partnerships. You know, Somalis that are trading there, that are in business there, would like partnerships with Ugandans, even if it is agencies to sell products that come from Uganda. It's a good thing that they can benefit from. But there is also investments. We already told that some Ugandans have already made investments in Somalia, in hotels. So Ugandans who have money here and are looking for investments across the region or the world, there are opportunities for us to invest there. So that helps Somalia to attract investments, because when you attract investments in your country, you are going to get the services and goods you need. That's the first thing. The second thing, you are going to have an economic activity from which you can have your citizens employed. You are able to get some taxes from those economic activities, and it starts building your economy and country. So the Somali people are going to benefit from that. Now, if you look at, we've been told that Somalia, like for instance, if you look at the vegetables and horticulture, things like oranges, things like mangoes, carrots, onions, all these green leaf kind of vegetables. Somalia uses a lot of that, and the edible oil. In fact, we were told that from 2017 to 2020, they bought things from across the world of about $1.5 billion. That's a lot of money. Okay. So meaning that they can source these things from Uganda here. We have our Uganda Airlines, which flies into Somalia, meaning that they can get very good supplies of these things from Uganda. And Ugandans benefit, so the Somali also benefit from that.
All right, now Somalia, as we're summing up with our discussion, Somalia happens to be one of the other members that wants to join, one of the other countries that wants to join the East African Community Bloc. So, and if you're to see that, speaking of that perspective, we've seen the DRC joining in this very year, but now what will Somalia provide?
No, it is good that Somalia is interested in joining the East African community, which is a very good thing. And first of all, if we want to develop our countries as Africa, the issue of common markets is so important. Small markets are not going to really change that very much the circumstances of our people. Look at the most developed blocks across the world. If you look at the United States of America, I think when somebody talks about United States, you already have a feeling that it is states that came together and into this huge block they call the United States. So because they are huge, population is big, they have opportunity to do everything at big scale. And the value they get is also value at big scale. So everybody benefits from that kind of thing. Look at other economies like China. It's a very big economy. What drives it is its mere size and population. India, Europe. So Africa must do the same thing. We must be a big bloc, so that if somebody has an investment in Uganda, it is a big investment that is going to supply a big economy, a big group like the EAC. Then there you will get what they call benefit from what they call the economies of scale. In other words, the bigger you are in economics, you have advantages like having to supply things at low cost. So you have a better chance of competing with the goods that come from even from other bigger blocks, from China, from India, from US and the rest. So when you are able to compete, you are getting more value. You are getting more value as a country. So when Somalia decides to come and join the EAC, I think we welcome it. It adds another 17 million consumers. Okay. On the EAC market. It has the resources. It has among the best, I'm told you, marine resources. I'm told. For instance, we've been told that in terms of seafoods, Ugandans, maybe not many of you might know seafoods, but these are types of fishes that are enjoyed so much across the world, and I'm very sure Ugandans, when these things are here and they are cheaper, you'll enjoy them. You'll enjoy crabs, you'll enjoy oyster, you'll enjoy so much of the fish that comes from the sea, the oceans, and Somalia has that, and they are going to come. When they come here, they are going to exhibit and show us those fish, and they have assured us that they have the best fish. They have the best oysters, they have the best lobsters. So really, Ugandans will have an opportunity to get onto their menu these seafoods, which are a big delicacy across the world, as we know. Now, so Somalia, it will benefit from the EAC, one, because it will have a big market that it is joining, but also the EAC has there are some countries that have advanced a little bit, so they will have a challenger to which they will look up to improve themselves. Now, what the things that they will need to improve themselves and compete with that, they will need skills. They're just emerging out of war. Now, if they're emerging out of war, it means maybe students or children have not been going to school, or if they have been going to school, maybe they have not got all they need to really compete in the market. Sure. So skilling is going to be the important thing. So they are able to come to Uganda to be skilled. We have a very good education system. Our formal education through primary to university is a very good system. We have vocational schools here where students can come from Somalia and be trained in the vocational skills. So when they go back to their country, they are able to reconstruct, they are able to be more efficient and be competitive. Uganda had to do this to be competitive too. When we joined the EAC, I can tell you, this was a market for other countries, as you remember. Okay. But we had to understand this. We had to look at what we call business development services. And PSFU played a role in ensuring that companies access business development services, improve their competitiveness. And what we see now is you can't get cheaper sugar anywhere in East Africa than from Uganda. It wasn't that before.
All right, now, Doctor, lastly, from the perspective of the private sector, how will the private sector players and how do they normally benefit from such summits, the ones we've seen happening and the ones that are yet to come in the country?
Thank you very much. Now, the private sector in Uganda and elsewhere, there is a lot to benefit from summits, business summits like these ones. There are around 4 major areas where we benefit. First of all, we benefit by cutting deals. Okay. You know, like in this summit and the others that we've had, we are going to have what we call B2Bs, business to business, one-on-one with other business people. So you are able as a business person to sit with another business person from the other side and they discuss and they negotiate a trade deal. You know, when we were in Congo, we came back with 300 deals, people who are going to supply. They knew who they are going to supply to, how much they are going to supply, at the price they are going to supply, the quantities that are needed to be supplied, all of that they knew. So this one, when you come to this one, you will also have a chance to cut deals there. So that is important and comes out of these sorts of things. The second thing, investments and partnerships. There are going to be Somalis who are coming here looking for investing in Uganda. They might not want to start with the greenfield. They might want to invest in another company. You could be looking for new capital in your business. This is an opportunity to bring in somebody you can work with for money. So when they invest in your company, you are benefiting from the money. That's the beginning thing. But also from the networks that these investors come with. I've told you that they have a very big diaspora. You could have a Somali investor who has succeeded in Europe, in UK, and is the one who is investing in your company. So that network helps your company to change and they produce and deliver goods differently. The third thing that we benefit from these sorts of summits as a business community is we have opportunity to speak to the powers that be directly. Okay. The president is sitting there, president of Uganda. The president of Somalia is sitting there. We are telling them we are doing the business or want to do the business, but lift or change this kind of law or this kind of procedure or this kind of permit. So when you change it, we'll be able to trade even better. So when you talk to the president directly in those summits, usually they make decisions and those decisions are put in practice. Okay. Remember when we had just recently, when we had Her Excellency Suluhu come to Uganda, when we sat and the presenter said, Your Excellency, okay, we want to trade through Da, but you charge us so much for trucks that come from Da to Uganda. You charge us $520 per truck when you charge other countries much less. Can we have the same rates that you charge to other countries? And that was done there and then. As we speak today, our trucks are being charged less through that. Now, if we'll do the same thing for Somalia. So the business people benefit by talking to the powers that be, telling them what should actually happen. And in the end, we benefit like that. The fourth thing that is going to happen, which is happening for the first time in Uganda, is that arrangements and the cooperation between countries is executed through what they call the JPCs, Joint Permanent Commissions. Now, Uganda and Somalia are doing a joint permanent commission now. It is going to be the framework under which will cooperate on a number of things, almost all sectors of life and economy. Now, the thing that is going to happen in this forum is that the presidents will launch what we have called the Permanent Investments and Business Council for Uganda and Somalia. Now, this is going to be a council that will be set up to look and discuss and engage on issues that affect the trade between Uganda and Somalia permanently. So meaning that as a business community will benefit because we'll have the deals done, we'll have the investments done, we'll have the issues that we have problems dealt with there and then, but also remain with a group that will continue on carrying on the work that has started. All right. Yes.
And thank you very much, Doctor, for your time. That is the Deputy ED, Private Sector Foundation of Uganda, giving us an insightful discussion regarding how Uganda and Somalia will benefit of the Uganda Somalia Summit that is scheduled for the 8th and 9th of August next week, that is Monday and Tuesday. And we'll be giving you all those details and a review of that particular summit come next week from the Speak Resort Munyonyo. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko, back to Andrew Barija in studio. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Jerome Paul Sonko, for that insight regarding Somalia-Uganda relationship. And of course, the summit will take place next week regarding more. So we shall be finding out more what should we expect regarding this Uganda-Somalia relationship. And of course, it's exactly 2 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m. Good morning.